crazy stories. Don't really have any crazy stories, Matt. I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely no doubt that things have happened in the past involving me that have caused me to think a certain way or do a certain thing in response and maybe travel to some location, but off the top of my head I can't think of anything. It's just been a long time since anything noteworthy that stands out in my brain has happened, so it slipped from memory. You could say my birthday last year was an example of something crazy happening that I wouldn't have honestly ever expected to happen. I wouldn't have thought that Nick would travel from the US and he'd be in the same house as well as people I know from different areas of the internet, but have coalesced into one place for one event. One weekend. It seemed like such a far-fetched thing that we all shared a house together, and yet it happened. And yes, I know there was organisation put into it to make it happen, but I didn't think it would happen quite like that. Originally it was just supposed to be me and a few other people meeting, but then before you know it, there's a trip to Germany and a whole bunch of people from a whole different bunch of places. But that sort of crazy happening has sort of grounded me, because I realised how lucky I was for everything to fall into place so perfectly for that weekend of my 30th. And how something like that will probably never happen again, aside from the fact that I only turned 30 once, but you know, something of that nature is very unlikely to happen again. I'm not saying it won't in the future. Apart from something as obvious as that I've covered before on this channel, I'm honestly not really sure what to say. Or I guess something that I didn't see coming was me going to a YouTuber party in Hollywood Hills just after VidCon had ended. All the famous people around me, and there's just me stood there as some small-time community manager, well, small-time channels with about 500,000 subs, so that number doesn't really mean a lot on YouTube these days. I just wish I had something slightly more original to tell you that I haven't already talked about. The one thing that I would say grounds me is the expectation of change. I don't like to let myself get too complacent and too used to a situation, because things change quite rapidly. My department at work, for example, I now help run it and sort of do work schedules and things, but I just found out today my boss is leaving, the boss that allowed me to do this, so who knows if I'll get to do that with the next boss that comes in. But at the minute, being able to work my own work rota around my online stuff, I've enjoyed having a more steady work-life balance, and it may not continue, and I hope it does, but if it doesn't, I've not gotten that used to it that any change will throw me out of whack. Have a great day, keep grounded, and I'll see you on Monday.